Hello yogis and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a 10-minute yoga stretch for low back pain. A lot of you have been requesting a video for low back pain, so it's only 3 exercises, 10 minutes, and these are exercises that I do when I get a low back flare up, or if I feel one coming on, or if I just have general discomfort in that area. So these 3 exercises really target your QL, and your QL, they're like little support systems, like columns, I guess you could say, that help to support the spine, and they're also responsible for our lateral flexion. So when these are tight and tense, especially if one hip is tighter than the other, this can really bug them up and cause the discomfort that you might be feeling in your low back. So you will need a block, and as always, if you don't have a block, grab some books. So the first pose that we will be coming into is a wide-legged forward fold. So you're going to bring your legs out. Oh, grab your block because you're going to need that. So bring your legs out as wide and as comfortable is for you. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring the block to the inside of your right leg. If it's not comfortable on the inside, maybe you have a longer torso, or maybe you have longer legs, depending on your body's anatomy, you might want to bring the block to the outside of your right leg. So for me, I'm going to bring it on the inside. I'm going to bring my elbow on to the block. I'm going to make a fist with my right hand, and I'm going to place my knuckles on my temple so it has a nice place to rest. Your option with your left hand, you can bring your left hand to your hip. You want to make sure you're not hiking up your hip. Or you can bring it on to your head so that your elbow is bent and relaxing on the top of your head. You want to make sure that you're not rounding forward. So if you're doing this and your elbow is on your head, then you want to bring your hand back down to your hip. You're looking to open up the chest. So right away, you should be feeling a nice stretch through the left side body and really feeling it down into the low back area, the side of the low back. Just taking a few breaths here. If you do find that you're straining to stay up, you can always do this against a wall. And over time, maybe you decide to change the height of a block, or maybe remove the block completely, bringing your elbow onto your shin, playing around with what works for you. Just a few more breaths. All right, so before we come out of this pose, if your left hand is resting on your head, or if it's on your waist, you're just going to rotate your spine so that you're looking towards your right toes. And we're just going to counter stretch here for a moment. And walk yourself all the way back up to center. So just sitting here, I already feel a lot more length through my left side body, and I feel kind of bugged up and tense on this side, so I want to even it out, and we're going to do the other side. So placing the block, whatever height that you desire, on the other side, I'm going to place it on the inside of my left leg. I'm going to go ahead and bring my left elbow to the block. Right hand can be on your hip, really trying to bring the hip to the floor, avoid it lifting up, or up and over, opening the chest. Nice deep breaths into that side body. A few more breaths. So before we fully come out of this pose, you're just going to bring your top arm, so if your right arm was resting on your head, bring it down onto your hip. You're just going to rotate your spine or your torso over that left leg just for a moment. And let's go ahead and walk ourselves back up to neutral. All right, pose number 2. You are going to place the block on the mat and sit on top of the block. You're then going to bend the left knee and bring the left knee and the left foot onto the floor. Inhale your right arm up, and then exhale, you're going to bring your right hand onto your knees, and you're pulling your knee so that you're trying to close the gap between your thigh and your belly. Take your left fingertips to the floor, find length, and just a gentle twist here. A few more breaths. And gently release. We'll do that on the other side. Just making sure when you bend that knee back that your toes are not splayed out to the side. You really want to make sure that your toes are in line with your knee. Go ahead and bring your right foot out in front of you. Take your left hand up, left fingertips grab to the outside of that right knee, right fingertip spider behind you, find length, inhale, and gently twist. few more breaths. Making sure that your spine is nice and tall. And let's go ahead and gently release. Coming back to center, coming into the last exercise for our low back. Using your block or your pillow, or actually you could use the pillow or your books, you're going to come and lay all the way onto your back. You're going to take your block at its highest height. You want to place it in between your legs, and you really want to squeeze the block. Probably work better if you have a foam block or your book is softer. This cork block is quite large, quite thick. So from here, again, making sure you're not lifting your low back or you're curving in your spine. You want to imagine there's a strawberry or something underneath your low back and you're trying to squish it. Squeeze the block, hands down by your side, slight core activation here. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to drop both knees to the right. Make sure you're squeezing the block and come back up through center. Going to the other side, drop it down, squeezing the blocks, and coming up. Do about 3 more each side. Really squeezing into the blocks. So this is our last one, dropping down to the right. And dropping down to the left. Go ahead and remove the block, bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. And that is it. Those are the three exercises that I use when I'm experiencing low back pain or any discomfort in my low back. It really helps to target, again, that QL area that gets bugged up and gets tight, especially, like I said, if one of your hips are tighter than the other. It's not nice, it's uncomfortable, and it really puts a damper on your day. I know when I have those flare-ups, it really just doesn't do it for me. So I really hope you enjoyed this class. I hope these 3 exercises help you. Let me know in the comment section if you try it, if it's beneficial for you. And as always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, share it with anyone who you think might resonate with my content. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.